Hey, YouTube. Hope everybody out there is doing great, wonderful, and good. Uh, this is a little something I found on the great Twitter, right, where everybody goes to voice their opinion. One of the many places people go to voice their opinion. And like I said, just talk about a little bit of everything. This was, of course, as you see somebody's tweet and somebody retweeted, to kind of trump them, put their card on top of the deck. And it's weird to me how polarized everybody is because if you see basically the tweet, and by the way, I blur out everybody's names and things because I'm not trying to start any drama. I'm not trying to make an example out of anybody. This is not the let's sip some tea type channel. It's just more so, like I said, just perspective. So we kind of keep mindful of where we're going and views and things of that nature. So as you see, one person puts out the tweet. All right, can I get a amen? And you see what's in the box there. Blanket statement. I agree with it. Women should go to jail for false rape allegations. I completely believe that. I believe anybody who falsely accuses anybody of a false crime or something like that, something that may hinder their career or their lives or bring them some undue public shame, should go to jail. They should serve the time that the other person was going to get. It needs to be taken seriously, and that's a place our laws really aren't at yet. And as you see, the retweet above, men should go to jail for rape. Now, when I saw this, I was just kind of like, but they do. But they do. Now, I get it. I get it. Everybody's going to throw out their stats. Most of the time they don't, or most of the time the victim doesn't come forward, and all these different things. Maybe it also depends on where your stat pool comes from, because I've dealt in law enforcement before and seen the judicial process from another side, and a lot of times you do have a lot of false allegations out there. So, but remember, your stats also come from where you pull from, right? So you can kind of make stats say anything, but regardless of the point, that's not that's not what we're talking about. So I agree with both statements. The thing is I don't see why both statements just can't be true. Why is it both statements as they are just can't be true as they are? Why is everything an argument? And that's just kind of this polarizing place we're at now, where everybody has got to go exactly along with everybody else's narrative to the T, commas, periods, apostrophes. If you don't say it or think it exactly the way that I do, that this person does, then, there's some kind of, beef or stink about it, right? They're both saying something that's true. Now, what got me is if you go to the comment section, or the thread, what you see is this stupid stuff, because everybody just wants to be right, you know? So I've noticed in today's society that everyone's just trying to win an argument. Nobody's actually looking at really the right thing to do or the right way to think. Example, we talk about within this thread. So within this thread, you see people throwing around, the stats they just pull out of their ass because, the common stat numbers when someone says 98% of the time, it's like, is it really 90% of the time, or is that just a, kind of cliche percentage throughout there to say, whatever. You get my point. So she says, one of them said 98% of the time, it's rape, and 2% of the time it's a false allegation. Okay, let's just say that's true. And I'll show you the fallacy of how you're thinking. What I will do with a lot of things is just reverse it. So let's say 2% of the time it was actually rape where there's a victim 2% of the time, and then the other 98% of the time it's a false allegation. Do those 2% of the time victims, do they not deserve to be heard? Do they not deserve justice? only because they're 2%. Because the argument was that, oh, because it's only 2% of the time, we really don't need to focus on that. Well, I'm like, okay, um, do you think the Central Park Five care? Go tell that to the Central Park Five that because they were only part of that 2%, that it doesn't really matter that their lives got rotted away in jail for no reason. You know, go tell that to this day. Go tell that to the Till family. Emmett Till, who was murdered off of a false allegation. Okay, go tell that to a lot of these college, high school, college, NFL athletes. I forget the guy's name. I think it's Brian or whatever his name was. I believe he was supposed to go to San Francisco or something. There's a story on him as well. But there's been numerous cases. You had one girl, I forget her name, a couple of years ago, lied and said that two guys raped her in a bathroom. Nope. She had willing sex with them in the bathroom. She only said rape because a guy she liked found out about it, and she didn't want to have a bad reputation, right? So, which I've seen a lot of that. Now, again, the percentage, what these percentages can do by saying stuff like that is it makes you lose the humanity of the argument of whatever's going on. Because at the end of the day, you could say stats are representative of, but people indeed are not stats themselves. That 1% person, that 2% person still deserves justice. They still deserve justice, fair, and equal treatment, period. And when you get caught up in stats, you start losing the very humanity that you are pretending to have, to trot out there, right? You're losing the humanity that you set out to establish and that you're so-called marching and tweeting about. All right? It doesn't matter if it's 2%. If your child, most people on the planet, most people aren't pedophiles. So should we just disregard talking about pedophiles altogether because most people on the planet aren't pedophiles? Most people on the planet aren't murderers. So let's just disregard the conversation about murder because most people aren't murderers. You can literally apply that to anything. Anything. You can apply that same logic to anything. If you want to go with percentages, most people aren't most bad things, so why are we complaining about anything? So that's basically all I have. I'm not going to drone on about it. I just thought it was just interesting, just kind of perspective on how people, how polarized we are. When we could both be saying something right, we could both be saying something true, but my side of it has to be the correct part. It's kind of like saying, daytime, not nighttime, when they're both just part of the day. They're both true, inherently true, and you can't have either or, right? No matter how much you want to. So that's it. I'm gonna try to come back a little later, try to get on a little bit of a schedule here, and get these pumped out at a regular time. But until then, love y'all. Be good.